The dark side of the moon was quiet, just like it had been for the past 3 years. Jun Kim sat in his chair, watching the green lines move across his screen. The same patterns, the same empty signals from deep space. Nothing ever happened. Out here, Jun worked as a senior communications officer at Earth's secret monitoring station. The station was hidden on the moon's dark side, where no one from Earth could see it. His job was simple: listen to space and report anything strange. So far, nothing had been strange. The coffee in his cup was getting cold. Jun took a sip and made a face. It tasted terrible, but it was the only thing that kept him awake during the night shift. He looked at the clock on his screen. Only 4 more hours until his shift ended. That's when everything changed. A bright line appeared on his screen. It was different from anything he had seen before. The line moved in patterns that looked almost like ... language. Jun sat up straight and put down his coffee cup. "That's weird," he said to himself. He pressed some buttons on his control panel. The signal was coming from the Vega system. But that was impossible. Vega was supposed to be empty. No planets, no life, nothing at all. Jun called to So Park, who worked at the station next to his. "So, can you look at this? I'm getting something strange from Vega." So Park was the station's quantum signal analyst. She was very smart and could understand signals that other people couldn't. She rolled her chair over to Jun's station and looked at his screen. "Where did this come from?" she asked. "Vega started about 2 minutes ago," Jun replied. So Park studied the signal. Her eyes got wide. "This isn't natural. Someone is sending this signal on purpose." "Someone? You mean like aliens?" "Maybe, but look at these patterns." So Park pointed at different parts of the signal. "This looks like language, not just one language, multiple languages. All in the same transmission." Jun felt his heart beat faster. "Should we tell Commander Wong?" "Yes, right now." Tae Wong was the station commander. He had been in the military for 20 years and had seen many strange things. But when Jun and So Park showed him the signal, even he looked surprised. "How long has this been going on?" Commander Wong asked. "About 10 minutes now," Jun said. "And it's getting stronger." Commander Wong studied the signal on the main screen. "This is definitely not from Earth, and it's not from any of our space stations." "Sir," So Park said, "I think this might be some kind of conference call. Multiple sources, all talking to each other. A conference call? Between who? I don't know yet. But I might be able to find out if you give me some time." Commander Wong nodded. "Do it. And keep this quiet. Don't tell anyone else about this yet." So Park worked for 3 hours. She used every computer program and analysis tool on the station. Slowly, she began to understand small parts of the signal. "Commander," she called out, "you need to see this." Commander Wong and Jun came to her station. So Park had words on her screen. "Not many words, but enough to understand something important. I was able to translate some of it," So Park said. "These are the words I found: human problem, containment, protocols, and expansion risk." The room became very quiet. "Human problem?" Jun repeated. "They're talking about us?" "It gets worse," So Park continued. "I also found these words: Phase 3, final solution, and population control." Commander Wong's face became very serious. "Are you sure about this translation?" "I'm sure about these words. But there's much more I can't understand yet. This signal is very complex." "Sir," Jun said, "if aliens are talking about humans and they're using words like containment and population control, that can't be good." Commander Wong walked around the room. He was thinking hard. "So Park, how many different sources are in this transmission?" "At least 12, maybe more." "They all seem to be in different locations. 12 different alien groups, all talking about humans." Commander Wong stopped walking. "This sounds like some kind of government meeting." "A government meeting about what to do with Earth," So Park added. The signal continued for another hour. Then suddenly it stopped. The room became quiet again. But this time the quiet felt different. It felt dangerous. "What do we do now?" Jun asked. Commander Wong looked at both of them. "First, we make copies of everything. Every bit of data, every translation, everything. Then we send it to Earth using the secure channel. Who do we send it to? So Park asked. The highest level? This goes straight to Defense Command? Sir, June said, do you think we've been alone all this time, or have they been watching us? Commander Wong looked out the window at Earth. The blue planet looked so peaceful from here, so beautiful, so unaware of what might be happening around it. I don't know, June, but I have a feeling. We're about to find out. So Park saved all her data and prepared the transmission to Earth. As she worked, she found more words she could translate. Monitoring 3 centuries and soft intervention. 3 centuries, she said quietly. They've been watching us. For 300 years. The truth was starting to become clear. Humanity was not alone in the universe. But the aliens who shared the galaxy with them were not friends. They were something much worse. They were managers, and Earth had just discovered that it was being managed. As Commander Wong prepared the report for Earth, he wondered how many other secrets were hidden in the stars. How many other species were being managed? How many civilizations had been stopped before they could reach the stars? But most importantly, he wondered what would happen when Earth found out the truth. The quiet monitoring station on the dark side of the moon had just become the most important place in human history. And June Kim, who just wanted to finish his shift and get some sleep, had just made the discovery that would change everything. The signal from Vega was gone, but its message was clear. Humanity was in danger, and they didn't even know it, not yet. 3 days after the signal from Vega, Director Wu Chun sat in a secret meeting room deep under the Earth Defense Building. The room had no windows and thick walls. No one could listen to what happened inside. Wu Chun was the head of military intelligence. He had seen the report from the moon station. He had read every word that So Park had translated, and now he was very worried. This changes everything, he said to the 3 people sitting around the table with him. The first person was Na Li, Earth's best xenolinguist. She studied alien languages, even though everyone thought there were no aliens to study. She was young but very smart. Her specialty was finding patterns in unknown languages. The second person was Yahan, a quantum physicist. He understood how signals moved through space and how to find hidden messages. He worked for the government, but most people didn't know what he really did. The third person was Commander Wong from the moon station. He had flown to Earth to help with this secret project. Show me everything, Na Li said. Commander Wong played the recording of the alien signal. The room filled with strange sounds, clicks, whistles, and tones that no human throat could make. But underneath the alien sounds there were patterns. Na Li listened carefully. She had studied many human languages and could hear similarities between them. These alien sounds had the same kind of patterns. This is definitely language, she said, not just one language. I can hear at least 6 different types of sounds, maybe more. 6 different alien species? Director Chun asked. At least 6. But they're all talking in the same meeting. That means they have some way to understand each other. Yahan looked at his computer screen. I've been studying how the signal was sent. It's very advanced. Much more advanced than anything we have on Earth. How advanced? Commander Wong asked. They're using quantum entanglement to send messages instantly across space. We can barely do that in a laboratory. They're doing it across hundreds of light years. Na Li worked for 2 weeks, day and night. She used computers to find patterns in the alien sounds. Slowly, she began to understand small parts of what the aliens were saying. I'm starting to get more words, she told the team one morning, and I don't like what I'm hearing. She showed them her work on a big screen. There were alien symbols and their English translations. Here's what I found. Galactic Preservation Council. That seems to be what they call themselves. Council? Director Chun said. Like a government? Exactly. And there are 12 members. 12 different alien species that make decisions together. Yahan pointed to his own screen. I've been tracking where the signals came from. There are 12 different locations. Each one is near a star system. So 12 alien governments all working together, Commander Wong said. What are they trying to preserve? Na Li's face looked worried. That's the scary part. They're preserving the galaxy by controlling other species like us. She showed them more translations. The words made everyone in the room feel cold. Look at this, Category 7 aggressive expansion risk. That's how they classify humans. Category 7? Director Chun asked. What does that mean? I think it's like a danger rating. The higher the number, the more dangerous they think we are. Yahan found something else in the signal data. There's more. They talk about something called soft containment. It's been going on for 3 centuries. 300 years, Commander Wong repeated. That's almost as long as we've had modern technology. Na Li translated more of the message. What she found made her hands shake. They've been interfering with us, she said. Listen to this. Intervention timeline minus 1755. 7 years were extended to slow colonial expansion. 1816. Volcanic winter induced to delay agricultural development. 1914. European conflict escalated to reduce population growth. The room became very quiet. Are they saying, Director Chun asked slowly, that they caused our wars? Na Li nodded. Not just wars. Everything that slowed down human progress. Natural disasters, diseases, failed space missions. They caused all of it. Johan checked his calculations again. The timeline matches. Every time humanity started to advance too quickly, something happened to stop us. But why? Commander Wong asked. Why do they care if we advance? Na Li found the answer in another part of the message. Because we're different. Most alien species take thousands of years to develop space travel. We did it in a few hundred years. Most species are peaceful. We're not. She showed them a longer translation. Human species shows unprecedented development speed. Aggressive nature and rapid adaptation make them unsuitable for standard galactic integration. Recommend continuation of soft containment until permanent solution can be implemented. A permanent solution, Director Chun said. That doesn't sound good. It gets worse, Na Li continued. They mentioned something called Phase 3. I can't translate all of it, but I see words like solar modification and civilization reset. Johan understood what that meant. They're planning to do something to our sun. Something that would send us back to the Stone Age. When? Commander Wong asked. Na Li looked through more translations. Soon, they mentioned final approval pending and implementation window, next solar maximum. The next solar maximum is in 8 months, Johan said. Director Chun stood up and walked around the room. So let me understand this. Aliens have been secretly controlling human history for 300 years. They think we're too dangerous to be allowed into space. And in 8 months, they plan to destroy our civilization. That's exactly right, Na Li said. And they think we don't know about any of this. They have no idea we intercepted their message. Director Chun smiled, but it was not a happy smile. It was the smile of someone planning a fight. Then we have an advantage, he said. They don't know that we know. What do we do with this advantage? Commander Wong asked. We use it. We learn everything we can about them. And then we show them what happens when you try to cage humanity. Na Li looked worried. Sir, these aliens are much more advanced than us. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. Maybe, Director Chun said. But they made one big mistake. What mistake? They let us find out about them. And now we know exactly who our enemies are. The secret team had 8 months to save humanity. 8 months to turn the tables on aliens who had been controlling Earth for 3 centuries. The hunt had begun. But this time, humanity was the hunter. President Min Cho had never been in a meeting like this one. She sat at the head of a long table in the most secure room on Earth. The room was so deep underground that even nuclear bombs couldn't reach it. Around the table sat the most important people in human government. Director Wu Chun was there with his team, so was Biao Kong, the head of global defense, and Jun Yu, Earth's lead scientist on secret projects. Show me everything, President Cho said. Na Li started the presentation. For 1 hour, she explained what the alien message meant. She showed the translations, the timeline of alien interference, and the plan for Phase 3. When she finished, The room was completely silent. President Cho looked at each person around the table. Are you telling me that every major disaster in human history was caused by aliens? Not every disaster, Director Chun said. But most of the ones that stopped human progress, yes. Liu Kang looked at his notes. The Black Death in Europe. The failure of the Chinese treasure fleets. The destruction of the Library of Alexandria. All of them? We think so, Na Li said. Anytime humans started to advance too quickly, something happened to slow us down. Jun, you had been studying the technical data. Their technology is incredible. The way they can control solar activity, create volcanic eruptions, even influence human behavior through targeted diseases. We're dealing with godlike power. But they're not gods, President Cho said. They're just aliens who have been around longer than us. Director Chun opened another file. Jun Yu has been analyzing historical data. What he found is very interesting. Jun. You stood up and pointed to a chart on the wall. Look at this timeline. It shows human technological progress over the last 1,000 years. The chart showed a line that went up and down like a roller coaster. Sometimes human technology advanced very quickly. Then something would happen and progress would stop or go backwards. Every time the line goes up too fast, it suddenly drops. Junyu explained, a war starts, a plague happens. A civilization collapses, always at the perfect time to stop human advancement. But look at this, he continued, pointing to the last part of the chart. In the last 50 years, we've been advancing faster than ever before. Computers, space travel, the internet. We've made more progress in 50 years than in the previous 500. Bio Kong understood what this meant. They can't keep up with us anymore. Exactly, Junyu said. Human advancement is now happening too fast for them to control with small interventions. That's why they're planning Phase 3. President Cho studied the chart. What makes us different? Why are we advancing so fast? Na Li had been thinking about this question for weeks. I think it's because of how humans evolved. Most alien species evolved on peaceful planets. They had time to develop slowly, without pressure. But Earth was different, she continued. We had ice ages, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts. We had to fight for survival every day. That made us different from other species. Different how? President Cho asked. We're adaptable. When something bad happens, we don't give up. We find a way to survive and become stronger. Other species might have been destroyed by the challenges that made us stronger. Jinyu agreed. Look at our response to problems. When we invented nuclear weapons, we also invented nuclear power. When we created pollution, we invented ways to clean it up. When we ran out of land, we started looking at space. Other species probably took thousands of years to solve each problem, Director Chun added. We solved multiple problems at the same time. Bo Kong looked worried. But that's exactly why they fear us. They think we'll take over the galaxy. Maybe. They're right, President Cho said quietly. Everyone looked at her. Think about it, she continued. In 300 years, despite all their interference, we went from sailing ships to space stations. We went from writing letters to instant global communication. If they hadn't been stopping us, where would we be now? Jun, you did some quick calculations. Without their interference, we would probably have colonies on other planets by now, maybe other star systems. And that terrifies them, Director Chun said. They've been the rulers of the galaxy for thousands of years. They can't imagine anyone challenging that. Na Li found something else in the alien messages. There's another species mentioned in their communications, the Builders. They were eliminated 2,000 years ago. Eliminated? President Cho asked. Their entire species was destroyed. The Council called it necessary galactic maintenance. The room became cold. How many species have they destroyed? Bio Kong asked. I don't know, Na Li said. But the Builders aren't the only ones mentioned. There are references to at least 6 other species that no longer exist. President Cho stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she could see the city where millions of humans lived their normal lives. They had no idea that their entire species was in danger. How long do we have? she asked. 7 months, Junyu said. The next solar maximum begins in 7 months. That's when they plan to trigger Phase 3. What exactly is Phase 3? A controlled solar flare. It will destroy all electronic technology on Earth. Computers, power grids, satellites, everything. It will send us back to the 1800s. And how many people will die? Junyu's face was grim. Billions. Modern civilization can't survive without technology. Food distribution, medical equipment, transportation, everything depends on electronics. President. Cho turned back to the table. So we have 7 months to stop them. How do we fight enemies we can't even see? Bio Kong asked. The same way humans have always fought, Director Chun said. We adapt, we learn, and we hit them where they don't expect it. What do you mean? They think we're primitive. They think we don't know about them. They think we'll just sit here and wait to be destroyed. President Cho smiled the same cold smile that Director Chun had shown in the previous meeting. They're about to learn what happens when you back a human into a corner, she said. What's the plan? Bo Kong asked. First, we learn everything we can about them. Second, we prepare our defenses. Third, we make sure that when we hit back, it hurts. Junyu looked uncertain. Ma'am, their technology is centuries ahead of ours. Maybe, President Cho said. But they've made the same mistake that every enemy of humanity has made throughout history. What mistake? They underestimated us. The meeting lasted for 6 more hours. By the end, they had a plan. It was dangerous, almost impossible, and would require the best of human intelligence and courage. But it was a plan, and for the first time in 300 years, humanity was going to fight back. Dr. De Lim had spent her whole life studying how species evolved. She understood why animals became the way they were, why some survived and others died out. But she had never studied humans like this before. Now she sat in a secret laboratory, surrounded by computers and data about human evolution. President Cho had given her a simple question to answer. Why are the aliens so afraid of us? With her were Rajin, the military's best strategist, and Wan Xin, an engineer who could take apart any machine and understand how it worked. I've been studying human evolution for 3 weeks, Dr. Lim said to the others. What I found explains everything. She showed them a map of Earth from 100,000 years ago. Look at this planet. Ice ages, volcanoes, earthquakes, asteroid impacts. Earth was trying to kill everything that lived on it. Most planets where life develops are stable. She continued. Steady climate, few disasters, plenty of food. Species evolve slowly and peacefully, Rajin studied the map. But Earth wasn't peaceful, not at all. For millions of years, only the strongest, smartest, and most adaptable humans survived. Everyone else died. Wan Xin understood. So we evolved. Under pressure, like metal being forged in fire. Exactly, Dr. Lim said. Other alien species had thousands of generations to develop in peace. We had to become perfect survivors just to exist. She showed them more data. Look at human problem-solving compared to other Earth species. When a chimpanzee faces a problem, it tries the same solution over and over. When a human faces a problem, we try dozens of different solutions until one works. And when that doesn't work, Rajin asked, we invent new solutions that never existed before. Dr. Lim pulled up another chart. Here's something interesting. Most intelligent species develop logic first, then creativity. Humans develop both. At the same time, under pressure, what does that mean? Wan Xin asked. It means we can think our way out of problems, and if thinking doesn't work, we can imagine our way out. Rajin had been studying human military history. I've been looking at how humans fight compared to what we know about alien warfare. He showed them videos of historical battles. Every alien conflict we've detected follows rules. They fight. In formations, use established tactics, follow codes of honor. How do humans fight? Dr. Lim asked. However we need to win. Rajin showed them footage from different human wars. Look at this. Guerrilla warfare, psychological operations, deception. Tactics, asymmetric warfare. We don't fight fair. We fight to survive. The aliens probably think that's primitive, Wan Xin said. They do, but it's actually more advanced. Following rules in a fight is easy. Adapting to any situation is hard. Dr. Lim found something else in her research. There's another difference. Most species develop tools very slowly. It takes them thousands of years to go from stone tools to metal tools. How long did it take humans? Wan Xin asked. A few hundred years. And once we started, we never stopped. We went from stone tools to nuclear weapons in 10,000 years. Wan Xin had been studying the alien technology from their intercepted signals. I've been trying to understand how their machines work. He showed them his analysis on a computer screen. Their technology is very advanced, but it's also very specialized. Each machine does one thing perfectly. What's wrong with that? Rajin asked. Human technology is different. We build things that can be adapted for multiple purposes. A human smartphone can be a communicator, computer, camera, navigation device, entertainment system, and more. So? Dr. Lim said. So when we reverse engineer their technology, we don't just copy it, we make it better. Wan Xin showed them his work. He had taken the alien communication technology and improved it. Their version can send messages instantly across space. My version can do that and also hack into other systems while it's sending messages. You improved alien technology? Rajin asked. I didn't just improve it, I weaponized it. Dr. Lim realized what this meant. That's why they're afraid of us. We don't just learn their technology, we turn it into something they never imagined. Raw. Jin found more evidence in military history. Look at this pattern. Every time humans encounter superior technology, we steal it, copy it, and improve it. Vikings learned shipbuilding from other cultures, then built better ships. Europeans learned gunpowder from China, then built better guns. And now we're doing it to alien technology, Wan Xin said. Dr. Lim pulled up her final chart. Here's what makes humans truly different. When most species face extinction, they try to hide or submit. When humans face extinction, we fight back. Harder, she showed them examples throughout history. The Black Death killed half of Europe. Instead of giving up, humans invented better medicine. World War II threatened to destroy civilization. Instead of surrendering, humans invented computers and rockets. Every time something tries to destroy us, we become stronger, Rajin said. Exactly, and that's something the aliens can't understand. Wan Xin looked at all the data. So we're not just another primitive species. We're something they've never encountered before. We're what happens when a species evolves under extreme pressure for millions of years, Dr. Lim said. We're natural-born survivors who never stop adapting. That explains why they want to destroy us, Rajin said. We're not just a threat to their control. We're a threat to their entire way of thinking, Dr. Lim nodded. They built a galaxy based on control, stability, and rules. We represent chaos, change, and innovation. And they can't control chaos, Wan Xin said. Worse than that, Dr. Lim said. Chaos is stronger than control. Given enough time, chaos always wins. Rajin understood the implications. That's why they can't risk letting us reach the stars. If humans spread across the galaxy, their entire system collapses. But here's what they don't understand, Dr. Lim said. By trying to stop us, they've given us the greatest gift possible. What gift? Wan Xin asked. A common enemy. For the first time in human history, our entire species has the same goal, Rajin smiled. And humans working together toward the same goal is the most dangerous force in the universe. Dr. Lim looked at her research one more time. The aliens think they're dealing with a primitive species that got lucky. They have no idea what humans really are. What are we? Wan Xin asked. We're the species that Earth spent millions of years creating to survive anything, including them. The three scientists had found their answer. Humans weren't just another species. They were evolution's ultimate survivors, shaped by millions of years of pressure into something the galaxy had never seen before, and now the galaxy was about to meet them. Commander Bin Jiang had led dangerous missions before, but nothing like this. He stood on the bridge of humanity's first real starship, watching the stars through the main window. The ship was called Freedom, and it was humanity's greatest secret. How long until we reach the target? He asked. UNSCO, the ship's chief engineer, checked her instruments. 2 hours. The new FTL drive is working perfectly. It should, Bin Jiang said. You built it from their own technology. 3 months ago, UNSCO had been just another spacecraft engineer. Now she was the creator of Earth's first faster-than-light drive. She had reverse-engineered it from the alien signals, then made it better. "Commander," called out the communications officer, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth." "Put it through." Hanmo appeared on the main screen. She was the director of Earth's diplomatic corps, but her real job was much more important. She was humanity's first ambassador to aliens who didn't know humans existed. "Commander," Hanmo said, "everything is ready on our end. Are you prepared?" "We're ready," Bin Jiang replied. "Have you confirmed the target location?" "Yes, our long-range sensors detected the Council's base exactly where you predicted. It's hidden behind Vega's corona, just like the signals indicated." UNSCO had been studying the alien base for weeks. "It's huge, at least 50 kilometers long. Definitely artificial." "Any defenses?" Bin Jiang asked. "None that we can detect." "They're not expecting visitors." Hanmo looked worried on the screen. "Commander, are you sure about this plan? If something goes wrong, humanity dies anyway," Bin Jiang said. "At least this way, we go down fighting." The plan was simple but dangerous. The Freedom would infiltrate the Council's secret base and gather intelligence about their capabilities and plans. Meanwhile, Hanmo would prepare for humanity's first official contact with the Galactic Council, but this wouldn't be the kind of first contact most humans had imagined. This would be a negotiation between enemies. Approaching the target, UNSCO announced. Through the window, they could see Vega burning like a giant torch. Behind the star, hidden in its light, was the alien station. "Engaging stealth mode," Bin Jiang ordered. The Freedom disappeared from all sensors. One Shin's improvements to the alien technology made the ship completely invisible. As they got closer, the alien base became visible. It was enormous, like a floating city in space. Thousands of alien ships moved around it like insects around a hive. "My God," whispered the navigation officer. "How many aliens are there?" 12 species, Bin Jiang said, "but we don't know how many individuals." UNSCO guided the ship closer. "I'm detecting massive energy readings. This isn't just a meeting place, it's a fortress." "And a factory," added the sensor operator. "Those smaller ships are being built here." Bin Jiang studied the alien ships. They were beautiful but looked nothing like human designs. They were built for show, not for war. "They've never had to fight for their lives," he said quietly. The Freedom moved through the alien fleet like a ghost. None of the alien ships detected them. After 2 hours, they had collected enough information to change everything humanity thought about the galaxy. "Commander," the sensor operator said, "you need to see this." On the main screen appeared a list of star systems. Next to each system was a species name and a status report. "What am I looking at?" Bin Jiang asked. UNSCO translated the alien text. "It's a list of all the species the Council is monitoring." "Look at the status reports." Bin Jiang read the translations and felt sick. Extinct, 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 a primitive level, extinct. "How many species have they destroyed?" someone asked. 47, UNSCO said quietly. "In the last 5,000 years, they've eliminated 47 species. And look at this," the sensor operator added. "There are 200 other species currently under management. All of them are being kept at primitive technological levels." Bin Jiang realized the truth. The galaxy isn't empty. It's full of species that are being kept as prisoners. "Commander," UNSCO said, "I found something else. The plan for Phase 3 isn't just about Earth." She showed him another document. "They're planning to reset 12 different species at the same time. Earth is just one target. 12 species, Binjang repeated. They're planning a galaxy-wide genocide. Gets worse, Unesio continued. I found their long-term plan. They want to reduce the total number of intelligent species in the galaxy to just 20. All under their control. Binjang had seen enough. We're leaving now. The Freedom slipped away from the alien base as quietly as it had arrived. But now they carried information that would change the course of galactic history. Back on Earth, Hamo received their report. What she learned made her change humanity's entire strategy. We can't just defend Earth, she told President Cho. We have to liberate the entire galaxy. What do you mean? The president asked. There are 200 species out there being controlled by the Council. If we tell them the truth, if we show them what's really happening, they'll join us, President Cho finished. But how do we contact them without the Council knowing? And then, Mo smiled. Commander Bin brought back more than just information. He brought back samples of Council technology. And Wan Xin has been busy. He's figured out how to hack into their communication network. Meanwhile, in space near the Council base, something was happening that the aliens didn't notice. Tiny human probes, no bigger than insects, were attaching themselves to alien ships. Each probe contained a simple message, translated into 200 different languages. The Council has been lying to you. Your species is scheduled for extinction. Humanity offers alliance and freedom. If you want to live, transmit this message to your homeworld. The revolution begins now. Within hours, the message reached every controlled species in the galaxy. Within days, secret transmissions began appearing throughout space. The Council had spent thousands of years building a system of control. They thought it was perfect. They were about to learn that perfect systems have a weakness. They assume no one will fight back, but they had never met humans before, and humans always fight back. Captain Mi Young stood on the bridge of the Defiance, humanity's flagship. Around her, 50 human warships moved through space like hunting wolves. But these weren't the beautiful, ceremonial ships the aliens built. These were weapons designed for one purpose: war. Status report, she ordered. All fleets are in position, reported her communications officer. Fleet Alpha is at the Centauri system. Fleet Beta is at Procyon. Fleet Gamma is at Volf 359. And our allies? 200 species have joined the rebellion. Their fleets are ready. Mi Young smiled. In 6 months, humanity had gone from an isolated species to the leader of the largest rebellion in galactic history. Time until the Council meeting begins? 10 minutes, Captain. The Council was meeting to finalize Phase 3. They thought they were safe in their secret base behind Vega. They had no idea that humanity and their new allies had surrounded them. Open the channel to all human fleets, Mi Young ordered. Channel open, Captain. This is Captain Mi Young to all human forces. Today we end 3,000 years of alien tyranny. Today we show the galaxy what freedom looks like. All ships prepare for simultaneous revelation. Across the galaxy, human fleets powered up their engines and weapons. They had been invisible until now, hidden by technology stolen and improved from the Council itself. At the Council base, the 12 alien rulers gathered for their meeting. They looked like gods, tall, graceful beings who had ruled the galaxy since before humans discovered fire. The Council leader, a being from the Altharian Empire, called the meeting to order. We gathered to approve Phase 3 of the human containment protocol. The solar modification device is ready, reported the Zephyrian representative. One activation will render their planet uninhabitable. And the other scheduled resets? Asked the Vorthan delegate. All prepared. 12 species will be returned to primitive status simultaneously. The Council leader was pleased. Excellent. This will be our most efficient population management operation ever. That's when every screen in the meeting room suddenly changed. Captain Mi Young's face appeared on their displays. Behind her, they could see the bridge of a human warship. Greetings, Galactic Preservation Council, she said calmly. My name is Captain Mi Young of the Earth Defense Force. We need to talk. The Council chamber erupted in panic. Alarms began blaring throughout their base. Impossible, shouted the Eltharian leader. Humans don't have space travel. We have a lot of things you don't know about, Mi Young replied. For example, we have your entire communication network. On screens throughout the galaxy, the message was being broadcast to every planet, every species, every individual who could receive it. Citizens of the galaxy, Mi Young continued, for 3,000 years you have been lied to. The Council has not been preserving peace. They have been committing genocide. The broadcast showed evidence of the Council's crimes. Lists of extinct species, records of engineered disasters, plans for future resets. 47 species completely destroyed, Mi Young announced. 200 more kept as prisoners on their own worlds. And today they plan to eliminate 12 more. Across the galaxy, billions of beings learned the truth for the first time. But today that ends, Mi Young said. Humanity offers a choice to every species in the galaxy. Join us in freedom or remain slaves to the Council. Choose now. The Council leader tried to regain control. This is a primitive species attempting to disrupt galactic order. They must be stopped. By who? Mi Young asked. That's when every Council member realized they were no longer alone in their secret base. Human warships decloaked around the station. Hundreds of them, bristling with weapons that had never been seen before. Surrender now, Mi Young ordered, and you will be treated fairly. Resist, and you will be destroyed. The Eltharian leader was furious. You dare threaten us? We are the masters of this galaxy. Were, Mi Young corrected. You were the masters. Now you're just old bullies who picked on the wrong species. The Council tried to fight back. Their beautiful ceremonial ships moved to attack the human fleet. They expected an easy victory against primitive humans. They were wrong. Human weapons had been designed by a species that had fought for survival for millions of years. Every ship was built to fight, adapt, and win. The battle was over in minutes. Council fleet neutralized, reported Mi Young's tactical officer. No human casualties. Throughout the galaxy, the revolution had begun. On hundreds of worlds, species that had been kept primitive for thousands of years suddenly remembered what they really were. The message from humanity was simple. We're here to help. Fight for your freedom, and we'll fight beside you. One by one, the Council's control centers fell. Their carefully managed worlds erupted in rebellion. Their ancient empire crumbled in days, but the humans didn't conquer the fallen Council worlds. Instead, they did something the galaxy had never seen before. They gave them back to their original owners. The Regellian system is now free, announced Admiral Jun Kim, the same Jun Kim who had first detected the alien signal. We're withdrawing our forces and returning control to the Regellian people. The same thing happened on world after world. Humanity liberated them and left. The galaxy couldn't understand this behavior. Conquerors were supposed to conquer, but humans seemed to conquer only to give freedom back. Why? Asked the liberated leader of the Deneb system. Why do you fight for our freedom when you could rule us? Captain Mi Young, now promoted to Admiral, gave the answer that defined humanity's place in the galaxy, because we know what it's like to be prisoners. And we know that freedom is only real when everyone has it. 6 months later, the new Galactic Alliance held its first meeting. 212 species attended, all the former prisoners of the Council, plus 12 human colonies that had been established during the war. The meeting was held on Earth, in a building that humans called the United Nations. It wasn't the most advanced building in the galaxy, but it represented something that had never existed before, a government based on cooperation instead of control. Admiral Jun Kim, now Earth's representative to the Alliance, called the first session to order. The first item of business, he announced, is to establish the fundamental law of this alliance. No species shall control another. No world shall be imprisoned. No people shall be reset or eliminated. The vote was unanimous. Later, standing outside the building, Admiral Mi Young looked up at the stars. For the first time in human history, those stars represented not unknown dangers, but infinite possibilities. What now? Asked Admiral Jun, joining her. Now we explore, Mi Young sighed. We learn, we grow, and we make sure that what happened to us never happens to anyone else. The council survivors won't give up easily. Let them try, Mi Young replied. They spent 3,000 years creating a system based on fear and control. We're building something based on freedom and cooperation. Which do you think is stronger? Mi Young smiled, looking up at the stars that now belong to all the free peoples of the galaxy. We're about to find out. The galaxy was free, the age of control was over. The age of humanity, and all who chose to stand with them, had begun, and in the depths of space, new ships were being built. Not weapons of war, but vessels of exploration. Ships that would carry the message of freedom to distant galaxies, to species not yet discovered, to worlds not yet imagined. The universe was vast, and humanity had only just begun to explore it. But wherever they went, they would carry with them the lesson they had learned. Freedom is not something you take. It's something you give, and that made all the difference.